We'll go through some staff introductions so you can meet. There are quite a few of us that are new, and we'll go over key dates for the two programs, Artist Fellowship and County Arts. We'll go through an overview of our programs and review criteria, and at the end, questions and answers. I'd like to ask again that you remain muted. Use the chat function to just put in your questions during the grant. We will be monitoring that chat. And then at the end, during the question and answer period, we will invite you to unmute yourself, or you can also use the chat function, or you can use the raise hand function. I wanted to also let you know that this is being recorded, and a copy of this presentation will be available on our website and will be emailed to you so that you can refer to it during the grant period. So as I said, just to introduce myself, if you can advance to the next slide. I am the Director of Development and Community Grants, and in that role, I am responsible for our grant program, our community grant programs, some special grant programs, except for Arts in Public Places, which is managed by our fearless leader, CEO and Chief Curator, Rhonda Dallas, who is with us today. And I'd like to welcome our Pablo, who will introduce himself. The two of us are comprised of the grants team, and I want to invite you to talk with us. Pablo?
Hi, thank you, Sherry. My name is Pablo Juliveira, and I'm the program manager at Prince George's Arts and Humanities Council. I want to also welcome all of you. It's great to see so many faces. As a program manager, I deal with bringing arts to our residents in the county and taking art to where they are. I also assist Sherri in the grant process.
Welcome, everybody. If you can, advance to the next slide. So I'd like to go over our mission statement. In September, our board sort of refined our mission statement. And in fact, all of our grant programs we are reviewing in light of the COVID-19 pandemic, and really refining and listening and advocating more, because the way we go about our lives, and indeed probably the way we're going about our businesses and practices are forever changed. So for those who are listening in, I'm going to read it. Recognizing the importance of the arts to a vital and healthy community, the Prince George's Arts and Humanities Council is dedicated to promoting artistic excellence, expanding arts opportunities for citizens for Prince George's County and beyond through an energetic program of advocacy, education, and financial support. And in this, we are really committed to not just expanding financial resources through our own grant programs, but also helping you to secure other types of programs, funds, opportunities for professional development to improve your arts practices, advocacy. We want you to be involved, and we want to hear from you also. Next slide. So I'll turn it over to Pablo, who will talk more about our upcoming events, but I will start out first with saying, please follow us, if you don't already, on Twitter at PGAHC Arts. PGAHC on Facebook and Instagram. And go to our website, pghc.org. On that very first page, you'll see a lot of not only our events and activities, but also other activities from our grantees, our partners. There is such a wealth of information for you to access. And so Pablo will talk to you about some of the upcoming events.
Yes, thank you, Sherri. And so tomorrow we're kicking off the Prince George's Arts and Humanities Council Creative Conversations. And what that is a regular occurring meeting where we once again bring arts to the community, and we invite everyone to come in a private Zoom meeting, and we discuss what's going on in the community. Since grants are so important, we're talking about that tomorrow as well. And our special guest will be Sherri Bryant-Moore. We'll be talking about grants, but also other opportunities for grants. But we want to mostly listen and hear what you have to say. What are your grant needs? What can we do in the future to cater to you and assist you in financing your art? And then we'll have on Saturday, 27th, a virtual paint and sip at Starbucks, Capitol Heights. Please check out our page, our Facebook page, or our webpage to get more information. Thank you.
Next slide. So this is also an important collaboration for creative entrepreneurs. It's a partnership with Washington Area Lawyers for the Arts. It started in February. They have 2 more sessions. The next one is Monday, March 1st, and then the last one will be on March 15th. On this, if you go to our website, there is a special code for Prince George's County residents. It's on this flyer here, but if you go to our website and also on any of our social media accounts, they'll have this information. Next slide. So these are some upcoming deadlines. This is the timeline. The deadline for County Arts and Artist Fellowship is on March 2nd at 11:59. It is an online grants process. No late applications. Very sorry that the portal will close. I noticed that some have already submitted their applications. So if you have and you want to tweak it, you have until the deadline before the portal closes to update your application and make changes. In April, we will have a panel review. And again, if after hearing this, you would like to recommend or nominate a panelist or would like to volunteer, please email me. My email address is at the front of this presentation and at the very end. We're looking for a lot of different panelists from throughout the county with different skill sets, and we would like to hear from you. The announcement for this program will be in June, and April of next year, 2022, is when the final report will be. We have 2 upcoming programs, new grant categories, not new grant categories, arts and education, and a new public art grant category opening on March 5th. That deadline will be on April 9th. And that information will be forthcoming by early next week, as well as the information session for that program. What is very good about that program is that it will have opportunities for other types of organizations to apply for arts and education, as well as public arts. So another announcement that I forgot to, I'll state here, is that We did receive a grant from the NEA for our bus shelter project, which was recently launched. There's an RFP process for 6 sites throughout the county. That information is on our website, and the deadline for that will be March 26th. Next slide. So I'll turn it over to Pablo, who will talk about our Artist Fellowship Program.
Thanks again, Sherri. So the Artist Fellowship grant is for individual artists, and individual artists who significantly contribute to the arts and impact the lives of Prince George County's residents through their artistic excellence. Just quickly about the fellowship program eligibility. The applicants must be 18 or older and must have residency active or an active student in Prince George's County for at least 6 months, and that will come up in the application process where you will demonstrate that. Also, this is to fund projects that are adequately demonstrated to be produced within the grant period. So we're asking that you make it realistic within your means. Artists' product must serve Prince George's County residents primarily. This may also include digital products which extend beyond Prince George's County audience. So primary audience is Prince George's. Of course, others will benefit, and you will also want to reach, I imagine, other audiences. The grant itself is for up to $5,000. You can apply for $5,000. You could also apply for less if you feel that is necessary. Most people apply for the full $5,000, of course. And there's information is all available online, but let's see here. I'll go over the most important points. So this does not fund general support for artistic practice. Again, it's supposed to support a specific piece in progress or piece that you're developing, and supports the research and primary production of new artistic project. It provides county-based arts access to new projects. What we fund: rental of a studio, recording, exhibition, cost of equipment, materials, and costs related to vending. Unallowable costs: organizational use. If you're applying as an organization, Sherri will be talking about the county arts program, and that is the one that will be relevant to you. And if you have any questions, please email Sherri or myself, and her email is available on our website and in the presentation anytime. That's what we're here for. We're here to clarify your questions so we make the process easy for you. Thanks.
On the next slide, Pablo will go over the review criteria.
Great. So we have 3 areas. One is artistic excellence, and it's speaking to your professional capabilities, artistic strength, quality, vision, originality, and significance of the body of work. It is also demonstrating that you're representing well, either through innovation or your high standards, your discipline, whatever your discipline may be, whether it's visual, movement or dance, music, and so on. And then we also want to see that you've planned this out so that it's going to actually further your career as well, or your scholarly interest in the humanities. We're also looking at project impact, as in, what kind of impact will it make? Will you be able to realize this? What's the feasibility of your being able to meet the goals and the quality of the project that's going to be created? And then we're also, of course, very interested in the community impact or benefit here in Prince George's County. So in that case, we're asking you to demonstrate how are you going to reach out and let people know about the project? How is it going to reach your intended audience, who that is? And how will that benefit greater community, perhaps people that are outside of your target audience? And we want you to consider that as well.
Great, thanks. Next slide. Now, our county arts program, whereas artist fellowships are for individuals, county arts is for organizations. And bear with me, there are people that are probably listening on the phone, so I'll probably read through a lot of this, but keeping mainly to the highlights. You have to be an organization that has been in the county, located in the county for the past 12 months prior to the application deadline. So you need at least a year, and demonstrate that you have been serving our community. An organization with budgets under 500,000, 500,000 and below. Our grant dollars, we are looking for more grant dollars to expand, but right now for this program, it's capped at $500,000. And it must, you have to be able to execute that project within the stated grant period. So the grant period is from May 1st, 2021 of this year through March 30th, 2022. And again, there is a final report that would be due in April. For those who are current grantees, if you are an individual artist and or a county arts grantee, we've extended the final report the final report deadline. You will be receiving an email within the next day or two with the final report requirements, and that deadline is April of this year, April 2021. So the County Art Grant is designed to support organizations that provide high quality arts and cultural activities that enhance the quality of life in Prince George's County and reflect the collective creativity and entrepreneurial spirit of county's arts and humanities and cultural sectors. With this particular program, there is a one-to-one cash matching requirement. So whatever grants, you can request up to $10,000. So whatever your grant request, your project will have to be twice that. So if you're asking for $5,000, then you need your program needs to reflect a $10,000 program. So county grant goals. Provide county-based nonprofit organizations with access to capital support for exhibitions, programs, and art experiences. We want to provide those high-quality arts experiences primarily, again, to Prince George's County residents as a benefit, but of course, it can be regionally or nationally. We love to see how you're impacting outside our area. We just want to make sure that the county and our residents are not being neglected. We want to support innovative programming offerings, and nowhere is that more important now. We have seen some enormously exciting ways that people are thinking about serving their communities with distance learning, hybrid programs, and just really creative ways of how they are engaging the community. So what do we fund? We fund, again, this is project support. We do not fund general operating support. So that allowable costs will be for materials and supplies, marketing, facility rental of equipment, cost for consultants or artists that you are employing as a part of this process. What we don't fund are building projects, salaries for regular employees, and facilities that are outside of the DMV, which includes Prince George's County, Washington, D.C., or Northern Virginia. So things that are not in our area, those are not allowable costs. Next slide. These are a lot of review criteria. I'm just going to touch on a few of them. This presentation will be available and you can read them all. Artistic excellence and content are critically important, as are artistic merit and programming quality. So for artistic excellence and content, they're going to look at the quality of your work samples and materials that demonstrate a high standard of artistic excellence within your chosen discipline. How well your project and goals and activities demonstrate high quality and are feasible. We're going to be looking at your staff, those people that are involved or that you will have involved as part of your project, the diversity, the experience that they bring to the project, and this goes further into who those may be, but who you have involved to plan and implement your artistic content, and your commitment to use Prince George's County artists and cultural practitioners. The programming quality is also extremely important. That's 25%. We're looking for innovation and creativity in the programming for the intended audience as well as for the organization. We're looking for alignment between the project and your mission. So if you're doing something not outside your mission, you would really need in your application to justify why. Is it a growth if it's not something you're doing currently? Demonstrated commitment to providing similar services to intended audiences. Your partnerships, are you partnering with other organizations to expand the reach of your project or to execute, to help in the artistic quality of the project and realistic outcomes, how well you evaluate your plan, how well they'll be tracked and measured. Community engagement and impact is also very important. We want to see how well you are engaging Prince George's County residents or your targeted, and how you're targeting underrepresented populations. Are you making accommodations for those who may have physical or mental challenges, diverse and underrepresented communities, how you are collaborating with them, how well you understand the audiences that you are serving, and just some evidence that you know how to market your programs to achieve your engagement goals. And then the other are administrative and financial management. That is the organization's capacity. Do you have the capacity to execute the project? A complete, clear project. Your budget is really, really important. A clear and detailed budget and cost justification. We want to see the matching requirements and that you've looked or there is some evidence of achieving that one-to-one match. Next slide. So how to apply. This is the email at the top. Submit. Once you hit that link, you will, if you're a new applicant, you'll have to register. You'll be able to see the current opportunities that are open. So if you can go to the next slide. So once you're open, you'll be asked a list of questions. For the interest of time, I'm just highlighting a few of them. What is essential? Your social security number or EIN number is critical. We also now are collecting information on the district. We do a lot of reporting on our programs. So if you're not clear of what council district or House of Representatives district, there is a link here, and it's also included in the guidelines in the application. It will take you to this website on the right. You key in your address, and then what will appear is the information, and you just scroll down on that site, and it should be able to tell you, please use numbers. It's not a drop down. I think on county arts, it is a drop down, but for the others, we just ask that you not include the name, but the numbers. So, next slide. Yes, next slide. So this just gives you a feel. Again, there are other questions. We want you to please follow the prompts. This is for county arts. For artist fellowship, there'll be other questions about describing your artistic process. On the right, you will see prompts that ask, that kind of guide you on the information that needs to be there. So if you use this along with the review criteria and try to answer those questions, there is a word limit. We want you to be as clear and concise as possible. My teammates know this. I am very wordy. And so I really also write a lot of grants. And so less is more, clear is better, but not, you want to stick to the main points, but make it as clear and concise as possible. On the project description, we want to let people know that there are other sections that where you can put information, like your key activities and goals and evaluation. Next slide. So this is really important. Further up in the document, there is a request for your organization budget. This again, county arts, I don't think there is that requirement for individual artists. We just want your budget. What is the budget size? And just one number. But for the project budget, we really need for you to fill this out completely. We would like for it to be detailed. For artist fellowship, we want you to keep in mind that only 30% of whatever your requested amount can be used for discretionary. In the guidelines, it sort of details what that is. Also for organizations, there's the one-to-one match. We really want you to list potential sources or confirmed sources. And again, the guidelines kind of go through what can be used as match. And then, the ticket sales or other sources of support where you're using. And I do believe there is some in-kind in there as well. Last is the cost justification. Again, we really, some applications have just 2 lines. There is no detail. And so we want to know if you're contracting artists, there could be supplies or equipment rental or a studio rental, those types of costs that are allowable. And so we would just there's a section in there where you can it doesn't have to be long, but just a few sentences as to why those particular funds are important for your project. Next slide. So I'm going to turn it over to my colleague Pablo for the work samples, but in the document, there are lots of required uploads It is really important that you complete all the uploads as requested. Otherwise, it will be an incomplete application. So, Pablo?
All right. Thank you, Sherri. So we're making this a lot easier for applicants as well as for the panelists, and frankly also for our organization. Instead of having everyone where we traditionally upload different files and everyone has different formats and sizes of files, we're asking that you save your files, whatever they may be, samples of video, photo, audio, as links onto a Word document and make a PDF out of that so that we can have the panelists click on those and then be directed to wherever you have that media, whether it's on your web page, on YouTube, and so on and so forth. And then you could submit that document. It's much easier to put up online. We also ask that, as you see here, as much as possible, have high-res images for JPEG, PNG. And then also, please be sure that there's no need for a password, so that when our panelists click on your link and we go to see your file, that they're not locked out and for some reason makes it difficult. But if you have any more questions about this, feel free to, again, get in contact with us. If you go to our webpage, go to grants, there's an email right there. We also have it in Sherri's email in the presentation, and in the chat room we've been answering many questions, but we will have a full Q&A at the end of this. So if we're not getting to it, you can bring it up then. And that's the work sample portion.
Okay, there. Thank you, Pablo. I just to answer a few questions that I can't help myself. So IRS letter of determination is for organizations. Individual artists will not need that. Again, in the Q&A, I will go further on what the evaluation plan will entail. Metrics are just the things that you are using to measure success. So how do you know if your project is successful? So what does success look like? And those are tied to your stated goals. So in your goals, you will talk about what you hope to achieve. Well, in your evaluation plan, you will describe how you will achieve your goals. What are you using to measure success? And again, if you have any, you can go to the next slide. If you have any questions, we are inviting you to contact us. This is very quickly, again, you can read these on just some grant tips. As you're going through your grant, we ask that you can, if you don't, on the electronic file, you want to do a draft and have another person kind of look at that draft for you. Again, using the review criteria and the prompts that are written on the right side, you try and answer that as clear and concisely as possible. Have clear goals. Usually you don't have more than 3 or 4 goals for your particular project, but we want you to describe what you hope to achieve, and then again, your evaluation plan will match that. Look at our guidelines. So as you're looking through county arts and artist fellowship, again, we have 2 other categories, arts and education and public arts. As you look through our guidelines, it may or may not be the right fit. Or sometimes when you're reading through the grant deadline, you're realizing, well, I may not be prepared right now, but I want to get ready. So we just ask that you look at, make sure that you look at the guidelines and review those carefully as you are submitting the grant. Again, we want your passion to shine through. Again, the why. Why is this program important? What fuels it? What motivates you? What is the impact you think that it's going to have? All of those things are really important to know. Your thought process behind that, and you want to make it as clear. Again, follow the directions. The directions are clear, and if they're not clear, again, this is where we need to hear back from you. If we're some things we think that are very clear to us may not be as clear to you when you're preparing the proposal. Next slide. Pablo, this is, we'd like for you to talk about, we want this not to just be one way, we want it both ways. And so Pablo will talk about the ways that you can keep in touch with us. And I think we touched on it before.
Great, thanks, Sherri. So this is a lot of information coming at you all at one time. And we, like Sherri said, want to make this a two-way relationship, and we want you really to feel comfortable to approach us. We're more than just an organization. We're people. We have Rhonda, Sherri, myself, and many others. And we have tomorrow another opportunity with the community conversation. So we encourage you tomorrow at noontime. We're going to have a Zoom meeting. It's not being recorded, so everyone can just talk freely. And if you have artist friends in the county, please share with them. It's pasted into the chat, and I'll share it again. But that being said, we want to hear what you need from grants, so you don't have to just go to our meetings to do that. You can email us. You can reach out to us. I want to give you one tip of encouragement while you're at it. I have applied as an artist and as a nonprofit before, not to PGAHC, but to other organizations. And if you don't get your first grant, that actually is not bad. That's a very positive thing, because you get a chance to get in touch with that organization, so you can contact Sherri or myself or someone else and ask for feedback. We then go to the panelists and they will provide feedback. They'll say, you could improve here, you forgot to address that, we're unclear about something. And with that, you can go back, improve your application, and apply next time. I've done this both as an artist and nonprofit, and then been awarded the second or third time. And then not only that, you can learn about other grant opportunities, and you can use that application to apply somewhere else or to build upon that and receive, matching funds or additional funds. And that's very useful. And getting in touch with us, for example, tomorrow, we're going to share additional grant opportunities in addition to ones here at Prince George's Arts Humanities Council. And being in touch with us and talk to us is great, because when issues come up or we see your application, we can remember, oh, Tiffany was there and she mentioned this and I remember it. And we evaluate everyone equally, because the panelists don't know you, but it helps to know people personally at the organization. That's our part.
Next slide. So this concludes this part of our presentation. Again, thank you so much for time. I've known we've thrown a lot of information out with you. This is, again, connect with us. And we'll be going through the chat to have any questions, but this is the time. I'm reading the chat right now. I'm going to take a few minutes to look at the chat, but I'm not sure if we can unmute the others if they want to, or raise the hand so that we can get to some of your questions. Thank you. And again, thank you so much for coming to our information session. We look forward to dialoguing with you through this process. Oh, okay. So I'm just going to go in there. The new categories of support, I'm just going through this.
While you're going through that, let me just also mention, I saw a question about the link for the bus shelter application. I highly encourage everyone here to go to our webpage, or you can email us for the following to join our newsletter. If you go to our webpage, any one of our pages, you go to the very bottom, you just enter your email and put submit, and then you will get emails that tell you all about our opportunities that are available for artists, for grants, updates on what's going on, and we also share other opportunities and events that are happening around the county. It's a great way to stay updated. And we just had a newsletter go out with the bus shelter information. We will provide that to you, but it's also a second way to stay on top of everything that we're doing.
Yeah, so if you are, I'm about to put this in the chat. It can also, if you look under public art on our website, under the public art category, it will say public art opportunities. There are many public art opportunities that come that come throughout the year. One of the things that will be, trying to get back to the chat, I'm about to put this in there. And the one way you can find out about all those opportunities, again, is to follow us on social media, subscribe to our newsletter. You can do that at the bottom of the website, or email info@PGAHC and sign up for our newsletter. What I will do following this event, in addition to the presentation, I will forward you all our latest newsletter if you don't have it already. And in that, you'll see a lot of information about all the things that are happening. I also want to do a plug to participate in our ongoing cultural arts study that is happening. We're learning so much about our community, but in that study is an opportunity for you to provide input of what you want to see in the next 5 to 10 years. Where are the gaps? What is your experience? Where are the opportunities? So it's your opportunity to have your voice heard. And so I'm typing this in. Are there any other question? Okay, I just put that in the chat. Okay, I don't see any additional questions, or I'm sorry, was there a question that